Great sunrise. Great sunrise, family. Let me share. Am I overreacting, or is it true that the scales are not balanced? But balanced in a way in our favor, perhaps. Let's look at the natural science that we cannot, that the world cannot get away from. That the world cannot escape from, no matter how you try to hold on. I want to say, do I want to say contextualize? Why am I having this hard time? Is it, no matter how you want to or try to contextualize? Contextualize the magnificent, marvelous existence of the melanin being. So when I contextualize it, it becomes clear that there were many factors that contributed to it. The rebellion is historically contextualized. It becomes clear that there were many factors that contributed to it. Okay. Now, and if we stop and we try to be wise in life, or we try to, you know, what I have recognized about why I'm here on YouTube is I have recognized that hey Sonara, I have recognized that I am here to get you to see the picture of you in conjunction with the world, and just how powerful you are. Just how powerful you are, truly. Don't you know, when I did my video to Congress, that was me exerting the power I know I have, right? But the world outside of me, and I talked to someone behind the scene, right? They say negative things like, negative things I shouldn't even be thinking about. I shouldn't even have to even go there with, because it's taken away the power from me. But in conversation, people think like this. I have to be around our people who think like this. They think that, oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, they're not even shoot, they wouldn't even dare. I have to have those doubts, so that giving the power over to something that is, if it you have to think, okay? You have to really think about it. Why would they need you? Why would they need you? Why would they be doing all of this for you? Why would they do all these things that have been done to you? Why? Think to yourself, why? You have to be the most powerful beings on the planet, okay? To have to hold you down, to tie you down like Satan for thousands of years, okay? So that they can live, right? So if that's the case, you have to see something in it. You have to question that. Why am I oppressed? Why am I an oppressive group? Why? There's got to be something about you. And there's things about you. You already know this. But you cannot get past that you have power. You see the physical excursion of power from them. But don't you know nothing starts physical first? It starts spiritual. And we always contribute to them to rise them above, because we lack in self-love and self-faith in self. We give our will, we have the will, but we give the power to something outside of ourselves, and we create this for ourselves because we lack self-love. We lack self-belief in self. We lack the knowledge of the all-powerful self. I don't mean ego. I mean truth. I mean your reality. It's all within you. It's all within you. So in understanding that everything's mental, why would you give over your mental power to the negativity, to the things that have been imprisoning you, in order for you to squeeze out your powers to something, to give life to something else outside of you, and to continue to take from you instead of you enriching yourself or giving for yourself? Or, physical seems so real, but you got to know that nothing can exist in the physical until it exists in the spiritual first. So they have to keep you going, like they have to keep you recycling, like you're working in a factory. They have to keep you on that line, going around and around in circles, doing the same thing, rotating it out. So they have to keep it. And the ways they keep it is through your mental. So why lend over your mental when you can make things happen for yourself? It takes will and power together. It takes the discipline, self-control on your spending, on decisions you make, your glands, your sexual urges. If you want that good relationship, if you want a real relationship, you be a human, not an animal. That means for the men, you don't beat your woman when you get angry. You don't want sex, sex, sex. And the woman, you don't want sex, sex, sex first. You want something, you go for it, right? So go for it. And I'm saying use your power. And I'm saying that you have the power. it may look like this world, you look at this world and it may seem like someone's over you and someone's in control. That's what they want you. That's the world. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's a challenge for you to, it's a challenge. You have to be, your powers have to be challenged. You have to be challenged. I'm about to show you something, and it's called science. It's called no way we can get around it. No way that things outside of us can get around it. They can try to exert themselves, but they already know the facts. They already know the facts. It's there in writing. It's all in black and white, right? You can't change it. It's already written. You can't change the inevitable. So people have an issue with the color black. When black is just a symbolism for the complexion of people's skin, it's not who we are or what we are, but it's a description, okay? And it's a marvelous description in today's. But they tell you something, you believe it. Instead of having your own mind and creating and rising above what somebody weaker than you thinks or wants to put out, you give power to them. But nature says no. No matter what you do, because you lack in self-knowledge and self-love, it is what it is. And it is great, regardless whether you recognize it or not. It will be. You're going to see here how little white is, even though I love the color white, don't get me wrong. I don't see it really necessarily as a description for the people, but so be it. If that's what they wanted, I gave it to them. We give it to them. We give them that power. But nature says a whole different thing, okay? If you can read nature and you know that there's no such thing as evil, there's only high energy and low energy, because it's how we vibrate in this existence that's going to decide whether we're royalty, whether you're royalty. And if you majority of the time doing bad things to people, you're not living by the principles of nature. You're not even vibrating. You're not living by the laws of nature. Of course, what do you expect? Do we feel like we need to be following something like that? Is that something that looks better than you? Well, some people think that's something that's better than themselves, and they want to go there because it's tempting. And so you live in those lower energies, and it gets you nowhere. Hold on. Power is something that is naturally given to you. And it starts in the mind. We've been given challenges. We can overcome the world and stop thinking that what we see is true, and recognize that you don't have to succumb to the animal mind. There's two choices we have. We can either rise above the animal mind, or we can live in the animal mind, the animal thinking, the animal existence. Or we can control our glands within the body, know the science of self, and know that we're not without help, that nature has been pulling for us. The spiritual world has been pulling for us. The true nature has been pulling for us. And let me just show you just how impactful Black is. Let me show you just how impactful Black is, regardless of how you want to think about it, or regardless of how anybody sees it. It is what it is. It is what it is. And white is what it is. You see, this is Black, right? We have so many negative connotations for Black, right? And we have so many positives. We have effects and we have symbolizes, right? The color of power and sophistication. Black is incredibly strong and intimidating color that exudes authority and makes us feel secure and protected. That's that being in that spiritual world. When you close your eyes, you're there, right? You're relaxed. You're gone, and that's when you're in your powerful times, because then you can find a way to get out of the body and astral travel. It's also in that time. But the world would tell you it's evil, it's dark, because they don't want you to go there. They don't want you to go to power. They want you to come back to the illusion of light. And you know what? I have a fetish, and it's fetish for lights, all colors of lights. And I know that fetish is not strong enough to make me want to go back to the light. Because even though I enjoy the light so much, I'm just extraordinarily enjoy lights. I don't know what is my fixation on lights. I just love it, and different intensities of it on earth here, right? And also from my experience with the unidentified flying object, it brought me some beautiful, extraordinary lights when I experienced it. And I couldn't help but look in awe at how beautiful those lights were, like the rainbow. It was just, and then that red is dynamic to me. But you see, Black absorbs all the light. All the light spectrum colors are within us, like rainbows, right? So that's our crown chakra. And it says here, often seen at formal and prestigious events, this mysterious marvel arouses and seduces our senses with its elegance and sexiness. To black out means to become unconscious. But are you really unconscious when you block out? No, you're conscious because your consciousness is all you have after you leave the body. We're unconscious when we don't know the science of self. We want to listen to what we want to lend power to that needs your power. It needs your power. It needs you to feed it. And you feed it. And you say things like, you begin to think that what they say is who you are. You're not black. It's not what I'm saying. But your description is considered black, right? But a lot of people say, well, I'm not black. But black engulfs all the colors of the rainbow, all the lights. So you're everything. Everything basically is what it's saying if you look at the science of it. And this says you are great because there's so much more to say about you. There's so much, it's a big write-up right here. It's a beautiful write-up. Even if they want to put evil into it, so what? Who decides evil? Of course you're evil to them. Of course you're evil to the rest of the world. If you hold all the power and you're all multi colors of the world and you hold all the light energy within you, then you're powerful, you're impactful. And of course they're going to want you to think the negative. They want you to think, and you're going to feed into it, and you're going to give them power. Once again, always give your power away. That in itself takes discipline to stop doing, to come out from the world and stop looking at what they're doing, because that's what they want and that's what they need. They need you to pay attention to what they're doing. They need you to report and think that somehow you're thinking that they're almighty and all powerful. No, you're almighty and you're all powerful. You don't have to look at their news and repeat their news. And for Black people, you don't have to watch your back with them, because the whole thing is, you, once you see, I have to play my song on this one. Oh. Here we go. I can't help but wait. Oh, I can't help but wait. Like a beach vibe, check it out. I see you with him. He ain't right, but you don't trip. You stand by while he lies, then turn right around and forget. I can't take to see your face. Those tears run down your cheeks. But what can I do? I gotta stay true. Cause deep down I'm still a G. And I don't wanna come between you and your man. Even though I know I treat you better than he can. Girl, I can't help but wait till you get that with him. It don't change. Can't help but wait till you see that with me it ain't the same. Can't help but wait till you see you for what you really are. I can't help but wait to see you take back your powers from nonsense. See, everything starts mental, so they have to make you think that they have to make you be with them. You know, like the song says, you so engulfed in them and their thoughts and their mentality. But look, let's look at this other thing here. And then I'll close out. Hold on. Oh, where did I do with that? Okay, here we go. But when you look at the white, even though white is a beautiful color as well, and it's, you know, you don't see much of a write-up about it. It just doesn't, it's just not that, it's not that as we make it, okay? It's not what we make it at all. It's all mental. You have to be convinced. You have to, if you have to be convinced of something and you have to have trickery done to get you to think a certain way, then you know it's a waste of your time to even go there. But we do. We go there with it. Low energy is always going to try to pull you down to keep you imprisoned. Like I said, the person that pulled you into slavery, if you don't know by now, or if you can't see the truth, they were already in slavery. What they say, misery loves company. Okay. Meaning and symbolism. Simplicity, purity, cleanliness, coolness, and positivity. Loneliness, isolation, and sense of coldness. You are far-sighted, well-balanced, and optimistic. If this is your favorite color. But I don't see how you're balanced because it's one-sided. Everything is up the up. It is a cold color, cool color. Some may feel isolated with it, in it. Lonely. But I mean, it's not much to white. It holds no substance. It holds no substance. You get it? So nature speaks. The truth is always going to be there, regardless of how you want. They're always, the ones that are the low energies are always going to let you know the inevitable, because the inevitable, they can't even get around it. You can't get around it. So I can't help but wait till you see you for what you really are. And that is a star. A star. That's shining bright within yourself, right? So it's important that instead of being negative and caring about the ways of this world or what the world thinks or what the world, because the world ain't never done anything to empower you. You have to empower you, people, my family. You have to empower you. If the world ain't gonna do it, they're gonna have to do it eventually, right? So we basically have to put fakeism to sleep and bring in the real. With that said, true love, real peace, the higher self within, the soul. See higher, strive for higher, be higher. Peace and love. Till next time. We must strive to always keep beautiful things, good thoughts about self, listen to self in the mind, not the chatter outside the mind, because the chatter is only seeking to empower itself outside yourself, and that's the ego. And the ego always will die with the world. Peace, family.